Ben, you want to practice your intro? Come on, dude. Ben's been working on this, mostly making fun of me, so don't take this personally. Go ahead, let him know, Ben.
What's up, Maple Nerds? Welcome back to another podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about our new product, Nate's Hot Maple, which is ironically good on pizza. Get a little bit of that salty and sweet action.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right, Ben.
I'm going to
It's all right. It's actually coincidentally. Not ironically, it's coincidentally. But you're getting better. You're getting better. Thanks for jumping on, guys. I figured attendance would be up after all the giveaways in last episode. A lot of you missed out, and even those of you that listen on Spotify, we actually have been uploading new episodes of Spotify because you've requested it. So for those of you that listen on Spotify, thank you. And we're trying to upload as many of these new episodes as possible. It's maple season. People want to talk maple. And yeah, so we got 11. Dave Carlin's looking for more free stuff. I bet you are. If you guys are missing out and want to know when we're actually going to be popping up with these live streams, what you need to do is subscribe to the Bissell Maple Farm YouTube channel. There's a little drop-down menu, and there's icons. There's a bell. If you don't go to the top bell, which is inform me every time, you're going to miss out. So for those of you who are logged in and subscribed, some of you had a good day last time we had a Sapchat. I think we gave away like $6,000-$7,000 in product. Kind of surprised me. That's probably cost. Retail's more like 10. So, yeah. Yesterday had the chance to visit with the Northwest PA Maple Association for their annual meeting. And I actually was able to practice this a little bit. It's a topic that I've been wanting to cover for a while now. And it finally was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about this. And it's the difference between cost and value. And everybody likes to commoditize things. And I understand why. It makes your decision-making simpler. You can just break it down to money. And the problem is it's only going so far. So I have 3 quick stories about cost versus value. And the first one's easy. It's about gas prices. And my father-in-law, Fred, they're always looking for the best gas prices. So if you put a sign out on the road and advertise the lowest price of gas, they will fill up their tank there. They will tell everybody about the gas being cheaper. And it wasn't until I did not have to pay for gas. I had a company gas card with my first job. And I did that for a career for like 13, 15 years, actually. I still do it a little bit on the side. I cared about gas prices too until I had a gas card. And then it didn't matter because it wasn't my money. And sometimes when you don't have money, you actually make the wrong decisions. I'll give you an example. It wasn't until I had a gas card that I could fill up anywhere. And I quickly learned. Now, some people's faces are going to break. Like, you're going to twitch. This is going to cause some cognitive dissonance. That's when a smart person can believe dumb things. Your faces are going to like twitch and stuff because I'm going to give you information to make you think different. And gas prices. We think it's commodity. So we assume they're all equal, and they're not. There's these things called additives that are manufactured by Lubrizol, ExxonMobil, and it wasn't until I didn't have to pay for gasoline that I recognized that not all gas was equal. Just simpler to go find the cheapest gas. That makes your life easier, right? Decision making easier. Of course, no one's gonna point out you're making the wrong decision. What happened was I noticed with different gas stations, I would get more miles per tank. So Speedway is notoriously cheap gas, not very good quality. What I did notice is instead of getting 380 miles per tank, with BP gas, same 87 octane, I'd get 450. So for me, it was about convenience. I wanted to go to the gas station less. So I wanted to buy, the gas that would get me the furthest. And if you actually do the math, what you find out is you actually save money. So that's an interesting one. I wish I actually had help on this stream. So lots of comments. Let's go through some. So Dave Carlin says he's looking for more free stuff. Darren says hello. Jason says evening on this cold night. Definitely. So when does the free stuff come around? I don't think I'm going to announce it ever, because that's just going to cause. I want people to tune in no matter what. If I just say, we're going to do free, you guys won't let me show up on the free stuff episodes. We can't have that. So yeah, this is true. Good question. JDog Max 75. The old saying is true. You get what you pay for, but we don't like that. It's just so much easier to make life simple with, I'm going to buy the cheapest gas. So that's the easiest analogy that in our life we can deal with. Hold on. I see I got a guest. I'm going to text him real quick. He may not know. Hold on, Bob. The link I sent him is to actually come on. When I send a StreamYard link, sometimes I think it may be confusing because I'm on a platform right now that will allow me to simultaneously do live streams for YouTube, Facebook, and actually it does two formats on YouTube. So I'm simultaneously casting in two dimensions. For those of you who like to hold your phone this way, and those of you who like to hold your phone this way, we actually have it both ways on here. So first story, gasoline. Second story, I used to sell chemicals for a living. And towards the end of my career, I was pretty darn good at it. I was usually top 5 out of 240 guys, like year after year. And I had some really good mentors and was fortunate enough to learn from value sellers, not price sellers. This is important. I was fortunate enough to work in a manufacturing facility that made locomotives. I was also fortunate enough to start my career about 75 miles south in a facility that made the engines for locomotives. And my job was to manage the chemistry for those applications. I started in the facility down south and then went up north. Now, this company had 73% of the locomotive market share worldwide. That means over 7 out of every 10 locomotives this company made. They were dominant. They still are, actually, just under another brand. And when I went to this facility in Erie, it was after a few years, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years of building my career and learning about helping my customers make money. I went north and I was looking at these applications. These engineers would ask me to come look at them. And I'm like, this is weird. Where's all the good sales reps for chemistry? There were no good ones. There were some there, but they were the ones that were not value sellers. They were price sellers. So what I would do is I'd get partnered with an engineer and he'd say, Nate, I got this problem. Can you look at it? Sure. So I'd go look at it. And then I'd go, okay, here's the deal, engineer. Those 4 drums that you're buying every week, I can replace that with a pail. And they'd go, really? Like, yeah, you're just buying a lot of water. You're buying a lot of water. And what I think we should do is just use a concentrated chemical and just use your water at the tap. Since you're already using the mixing, we're just going to use more water. And every part you put out the door will be lower cost. You will make more money. Engineers got this. Purchasing did not. The sourcing part of the company had a lot of power and control. And what they would do is they would go, Mr. Engineer, this chemical is $3 a gallon. And this chemical that Mr. Bissell proposes is $5 a gallon. Obviously, the $3 a gallon stuff's cheaper. Try to explain to price people. It just, it's actually easier to say, tell me how much you spent in chemical last year. We'll divide it by the units you put out, and I will beat it by 20%. Now it's my job to put the chemistry in there. And then just every time I'll bill them for each unit they do. And then higher level manufacturing systems, that's what I liked, because now the performance was on me. How to, keep the chemistry in control. So we would do this on coil lines. If you drive down the road and you see a red metal roof, a green metal roof, every 1,000 square feet would cost like $1 in chemistry. Let's just say $1. So it was all contract based. They all knew what their cost was. Now, somebody selling chemical on a price per gallon, they're very interested in profit, right? It's a profit about them. And it's not profit about their customer. And it's the same thing. You can trick price buyers. It's not hard. That's why I say none of the good reps were there, because they figured out it wasn't worth trying to compete in an arena where sourcing had all the control and decisions. So, this is one of those examples where value versus price. I was a value seller. My job was to make my customer more money. That's it. It's that simple. And I could show them how. The same goes true when you're selling anything, whether it's maple equipment, maple syrup. How can you help your customer make more money? That's it. The third example I'll give you is probably one of the most frustrating for me, probably one of the most heartbreaking. I've gone through this a couple times, but this one is why I cannot be an equipment dealer myself. I can help manufacture. I can help create. I can put the right people in the right room and develop things, but I can't sell direct. I'll be able to help people sell, like share names, contacts, introductions. But this is one that taught me why we should no longer be an equipment dealer. I had an acquaintance for many years who we would help each other. And it was pointed out by my good friend Fred that it may not have been an equal relationship. And I ignored that. And usually Fred's right. And usually I ignore it. And it came down to this very simple thing. One of my customers, who buys about $1 million worth of syrup a year, called me and said, "Hey, Nate, we're looking for a local supplier. Can you recommend somebody?" Well, yeah. So I recommended this family. And I saw the email the other day. It was about 2018 that I gave the referral. And I'm pretty sure this customer's bought, let's just say $50,000 a year worth of syrup. 2008, let's just say let's just go with 7 years to be conservative. 7 times 50,000, $350,000 in annual revenue. And that same person would ask me for spouts. And you would think, after handing somebody a $50,000 a year customer for being an acquaintance and a friend, that they wouldn't shop your spout price. But they did. They wanted a cheaper price for the spouts that we were selling through Leader. And that always boggled my mind. It's like stepping over $1 to pick up a dime. And it's why I'm actually not that great at sales, because I hate stuff like that. And in the end, every founder and business owner has to have some sales acumen. But I don't like when people say they need 10 semi-truck loads of syrup and then they really need 4. I tend to call them liars and want to deal with it like mano a mano. I hate that. That's why I can't sell direct to customers. When you say something, you don't do it, you make me look like a liar. I don't like that. So sales probably is not my greatest strength. So some more comments coming in. I know over here in Eastern New York and Washington County, there's not much around. Not much around of what? I need full sentences, guys. Subjects and verbs, nouns. Need a little help. Devin says, evening, guys. Evening, Devin. I think I saw a recent post of your new sugar house. So anyways, when price buyers end up connecting with value sellers, it's just not a good world. I will make people money. I'm really good at it. Vendors, customers, employees, it doesn't matter. And when people tap into that only for their own needs and don't plan on reciprocating, you'll get a little bit out of me for a while, but eventually it becomes painfully obvious this is not a two-way street. So, all right, Darren, what does that mean? All right, let's see what happens if I put Bob on. Send him a text. I don't know. You're on, Bob. I don't know if you knew you'd be on. I sent him a message. I can hear you, Bob.
How you doing, Nate?
Good. Are you in your jammies?
Nah. Just
There you are.
a t-shirt. Just came in from shoveling out a snowmageddon down here, but I'm sure you got plenty too.
Yeah, Bob's just across the state line from me in Ohio. And he's helping me with the NAVAC projects. So a lot of questions come in. And when you guys send me questions, I'm like, I don't freaking know. I send it to Bob. So Bob and I are going to be doing a circuit together, traveling because we've given away some vacuum pumps. We're selling a few vacuum pumps at really reasonable prices just to establish some market. And Bob and I are going to be traveling around. It's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it.
Did you cook anything good today, Bob? Bob's kind of like an amateur chef. He's always smoking and curing meat.
Yeah, today was pretty much leftovers, but did have some scrapple this morning for people that out there that know what that is. So,
what is scrapple? I've
so
heard the name.
Scrapple is it's a Pennsylvania Dutch food that predominantly in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and that it's like a cornmeal mush that they cook with a lot of pork scraps after they butcher the hogs. So
it's like making a bean soup with all the ham bones and stuff. You're just getting that flavor.
Right. It's a way of stretching the meat, for poorer families and that, and just goes way back. But you take this stuff, it's solid like a block, and you slice it off and fry it and get it nice and crispy on the outside. It's pretty good for breakfast.
Scrapple.
Mm-hmm.
Like Scrabble, but food.
Right.
So I was talking a little bit about value versus expense, and you've helped me. So Bob takes care of our air compressors, or helps us take care of them. Like, we still do maintenance and stuff, but when it's outside our realm, Bob's company comes in and helps us with service on the air compressors, and they also help with the vacuum pumps. So this company, NAVAC, is in the United States, but they're really specific to, what is it called? HVAC business. And they don't have a lot of business outside that. And I have known these guys for a while. So I said, look, if you guys got a vacuum pump, I'm interested, because there's a demand for them. There's all sorts of companies out there, but the Galt Evaporator Company doesn't have a vacuum pump that we can get parts for. And that was the most important thing. Can I get parts in a reasonable time? Yes, we have them on the shelf. That's important to me.
Absolutely.
So Jake says you get what you pay for, goes for quality and service after the sale. It's true.
Especially service after the sale.
So when somebody asks, what's your price? My antenna go up right away, because they don't even really, and oftentimes I don't even know the application. It's like they've made their mind up on what they want to buy already, and they just need another price to justify to do what they want already. And I can smell that from 100 miles away. So I don't want to sell stuff to people like that. I want to sell stuff to people who actually want to get value, receive value. Some people can't take a blessing, by the way. Some people think it's all about price, and some people cannot take a blessing. So, Bob, you can think about this for a second. If you've ever had a situation where somebody was, I think the term's penny wise, pound foolish, and we've all done it. It's not like I haven't. Remember, Bob, when I went and bought a used Atlas Copco air compressor? Because I thought I was going to save money. I didn't want to pay that big Atlas Copco price. And then I got it in, hooked it up, and it had like, I don't know, some stupid amount of hours. And it was all locked up. And I was very proud of myself. I think I paid $3,000. It ran for a little bit, I think. And then that was it. And then I think I just shipped it up to Clayton and said, here you go. He knows how to, he just replaced the air end and all that stuff.
That's
It was worthless. It's a boat anchor.
You know, it's human nature. We're always looking for the diamond in the rough, right?
Yep.
And thinking we're going to take that risk and we're always going to come out on top. And, you know, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's all about, you know, the other thing is downtime. You know, what does downtime cost? And preventing that, you know, is it worth a few extra dollars to prevent the downtime, or to know that you have a unit that, like you said, parts are readily available? If it does go down, can I get it fixed right away? Or, you know, am I out here floundering trying to get going again? So
this is another saying that comes up often. Buy once, cry once. Buy once, cry once. I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It goes along with the old saying about the taste of the low price, or excuse me, the taste of low quality lingers long after the, you know, the savoring of getting a low price.
I got you. Yeah, but oftentimes people will justify it. I paid less. There's some really awful syrups out there in the market. And I will say Europe takes the brunt of it. I've never had maple syrup from Europe that actually tastes like maple syrup in the United States. They have beat up the vendors so much on price that the lowest quality maple syrup out of Canada, US, whatever, is going to Europe. So they got the cheapest price and they've got the worst quality. And one of my favorite examples of that story is when I was dating my wife. I said, hey, do you want a cheese Danish? She's like, mm-mm. I was like, no, they're fresh. They just came out, like a cheese Danish. No one's ever said no to a fresh cheese Danish. What are you, nuts? She's like, mm-mm. Nope. I got one. I'm like, try it. Come on, try it. She took a bite and she goes, that's not a cheese Danish. Like, what are you kidding me? This is like the epitome of a cheese Danish. Well, her dad used to go to Met's Bakery in Farrell and buy the bag of 1 week old, 2 week old, whatever. It was like a dime a bag or whatever. Bring them home for the kids. He was a frugal man. And that's what my wife thought a cheese Danish was. And that's exactly what's going on in Europe with maple syrup. It is sad. Shame on the sales. It's all been done by the sales. Like, because people ask me to bid. And I'm like, so these European distributor salesmen who have the relationship in a traditional way, every now and then I'll get something that comes across my desk and it's like, do you want to bid on this? And I started bidding and I realized I never had a chance. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something. I'm going to bid it at the farm rate, the farm run rate of amber, meaning what I'm paying the farmers. I'm going to bid that business at the cost. And I was still high. Like, this is so strange. Then I started ordering some samples and I realized why. It's because I was not competing on an apples to apples scenario. I was competing on an apples to oranges scenario. And basically it got to the point where the salesman's like, look, I couldn't put a maple syrup that tastes that good in my customer's bottle because then he'll know that I've been lying to him for all these years. Like, I give him credit for like coming clean, but I understand why people don't trust salesmen. So this is what Darren was talking about. You'd rather travel for a better product, even if it costs me more. Buy once, cry once. Here's another comment from Green Maple Farm. My wife has a saying: when we have a price shopping customer who isn't looking for high quality but a cheap alternative, not our customer. If they want Aunt Jemima, we aren't there to compete. It's so true. I have no, and I'm that way everywhere. I have no interest in trying to convince somebody. And I heard something today that was really cool. It was like, if you're trying to pitch a product to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know, you're just too much money, and the competitor's cheaper." And you go, "Well, if I was the same price, would you buy it?" Well, yeah. Well, what do you like about it that would make you buy it? It's this, this, this. So let me get this straight. My product's better. You just admitted at the same price it's the better product. You just want it for this guy's price. It's like it's an interesting mind game, but it just helps people see that it is a better product. You said so yourself. And cheap syrup overseas has ruined the potential for good quality syrup. If their first taste of syrup is not good, they won't be back for more. To be honest, some of them are so they don't know. It's like those cheese danishes. They just don't know. The other one is I'm putting you out to bid. That's one that I find interesting. And if anybody, like, how to be the worst equipment customer in the world. Bob, if you were going to give someone a lesson on how to be the worst customer in the world for air compressors, vacuum pumps, what are the common threads? What are the common threads?
Exactly what you were just going over. People see everything as in their mind as being equal quality, and then they look at the price and say, "Well, why aren't you over here?" We've had instances where people are looking at a 25, 30 horsepower compressor. Oh, you guys are 25% high on this. So, well, before we get into any other discussion about quality or function or options that are included, what's the shipping weight of their compressor? Oh, it's 500 pounds less than yours. Well, do you think we're putting rocks in the case? Are we adding lead weights to it to make it weigh more? No, you're getting more iron, a better motor, better air, and better quality. You're getting more for your money in weight alone, let alone the quality of the controls
or the technology.
Exactly. But I mean, that's the first question. What's the shipping weight? Because it's heavier for a reason. Even the sheet metal of the cabinet is a better gauge of sheet metal. And there's so much stuff coming in now that's just built by inferior vendors, and it's in all equipment. I mean, you can use that Harbor Freight ratchet, but at the end of the day, if it slips and you bust your knuckles, are you really happy with it?
Yeah, I'm guilty. It's hard to go to Harbor Freight and not spend money. Like, I have to put blinders on.
Exactly.
I don't need this. I don't need this. I know it's cheap. I don't need it. I'm going to go get the thing I want.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get some throwaway tools because you're going to need them once a year. I kind of get it, but I'm even struggling with that, to be honest.
I mean, I was just looking at some of the comments about people about drill bits for putting taps in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And, they buy one quality drill bit and they get X amount of holes out of it, and the taps seal correctly, and versus this guy that's just taking a Harbor Freight or whoever drill bit and just going out there and trying to tap the trees, and it's just not going as well.
Yeah.
So, if it's your livelihood, put a couple dollars into it. You're going to get it back.
There is a big decision or a big difference in decision making between people who do maple for their living and people who do it as a side hustle. If that's one big thing that I've noticed traveling the Maple Belt is there are people that do it for a living. That's their livelihood. There are people that do it. They're serious, but it's a side hustle. They have a regular job. And how decisions are made are totally different. Not always. But for the most part, I've just noticed decisions by people who do it for a living are very pragmatic. They've probably done all the mistakes sooner. So they've learned. Some good comments coming through here. I see Joe's in the green room there. So we got Joe Lander. We're gonna bring him on in a minute here. Put money aside. Is there a problem with shopping around for the best quality or the best price of equipment that will fit your company the best? No, but there's some dead giveaways on how people do it. It's almost as if they're treating the people who have the product as the enemy. And in the end, your attitude follows, your actions follow your attitude. So my favorite one is, well, they're just trying to sell me something. Well, freaking yeah, that's their job. But also they can also be trying to sell you the right thing. Both things can be true. And this is the one that I think often, like my team's tired of hearing it at work. Both can be true. They want to make it an either or they're just trying to sell me something. Yeah. And it could be the best technology or the worst technology, but you can't get over the fact they're trying to sell you something. So you're going to miss out potentially because you already have that block up. So I love this comment because for me, when I was at the end of my career selling chemicals, I didn't have time for people. Like I made my customers so much money that they were my referrals. Like they would tell people, listen, plant manager to plant manager, you got to call Nate. He's the best. And as soon as somebody called me and they were looking like, I don't have time for it. I'm busy. I spent the first 10, 12 years of my life working 80 to 100 hours a week. Kind of got my life set up to where I didn't have to work as hard. The pump was primed. You know what I mean? That's was a Zig Ziglar reference there. But yeah, kind of earned it. And I didn't want to waste time with people that were going to make me work for no reason. To prove what? If US Steel and all these companies are referring to me, you think there's a reason. It's a distrust. Because there are a bunch of people in this world trying to get money from you for no reason. Like that's the thing, but they just lose sight that there are people that aren't. Jake says it's the big box store effect. Not all equipment or products are created equal, even if it has the same name. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's like every appliance is coming out of the same factory anymore, but they do the good, better, best, right? So you get into their world when you're shopping for any sort of appliance. What else we got here? We have a beef farm also. So Darren says we have a beef farm also and sell beef, and people don't like the prices, that they are too high and can go to a different farm for the same beef. But it's the quality difference in the meat that matters. And most people probably couldn't tell. I'm sure it's true. So River Hill Maple. I feel that this is based off my comment on your post. Valid though. No, I see this stuff all the time. I'm not picking out anybody particularly. I wouldn't even remember who made the comment. So this is just from my career. Friends I have in the equipment industry sending me texts like, look who wants a quote. Like, yeah, run. Like, run from that one. You're a penny higher. Run. Do not walk. Run. Because you can spend more of your time with, the right customer. But I'm going to bring Joe on. When Joe sits down and is done walking around so we don't get seasick. Bob, you find all this maple stuff interesting? Oh, you muted yourself, buddy. Hold on.
I do, honestly. I find it interesting. And I think another thing that, like you said, people think, oh, you're just out here to sell something. I think you and I have the same the same attitude that we're really here to solve a problem, help people out. If they happen to buy something along the way, that's fine. If they don't, and they go the cheaper route and they buy some other piece of equipment, we could still give them advice, still talk them through it. And
yeah.
Maybe they made a bad decision, but we're still here to help.
Well, here's why I like Bob is I made a stupid decision. Not once, but twice. I bought a used air compressor and from HGR, my favorite place, because it's the same place I got the last one that worked great. And it died on me. Like Bob helped and it's still like it froze up. Then I went all the way down to Cincinnati and got another one that I could have sworn to you was going to work. It came out of a wood shop that made cabinets. I was not expecting problems. Now this one. And what I like about it is I screwed up twice. And Bob should have said, screw this kid. But he didn't. He actually helped us get it running. And he didn't have to do that. He kind of knew, he doesn't even sell Atlas Copco, but he knew what was wrong with it. And I think you and Dean and Joe maybe took it apart and found a piece of metal in the air end, pulled it out, and it started working. I mean, we might have a little bit of an oil leak, but it's working for me. But at this point, I know the next time I got to buy an air compressor, Bob proved to me with no money going in his hands that he cared about our success. So sometimes I have to put my oxygen mask on before I help somebody with their own when it goes the price. But I'm just as guilty. That's why I was a terrible equipment customer at one point for Maple. I didn't plan ahead. This is my early 20s, even into my 30s. I wanted equipment when I wanted it, and you better have it. If you don't, you're a terrible vendor. Dude, I have no interest in dealing with my 30-year-old self. No. Not going to do it. I like what Vince says here. Zig Ziglar was required reading at my sales job, early 90s. It's true. The Art of War. That one too. I'm going to bring Joe on. Bob, you can stick around, or it's up to you. I think the more the merrier. Never bothers me.
One more thing about that, though, Nate. At the end of the day, it's great to have 100 friends, even if only 50 or 25 of them are customers, just to be able to count people as friends, people that you don't want to shy away from on the street, that, when you show up, they're like, hey, Bob's here, Nate's here, good to see you. Glad you're here.
Right.
And you just have to do it right and live life right in order to have people react that way to you. So,
right. I think also that you got a little more gray hair than I do. Joe has a little bit. You learn as you get older.
You'll get there. You living that stress-free life that you don't have the gray yet?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. If I shave it, I'd look a lot younger.
I'm gonna mute her and we'll let you get on with Joe.
Joe, what's going on? You've been packing a lot of orders?
Yeah, they've kind of slowed down a little now. Last week was pretty busy. I'm working in the sugar house today. Hi, Bob. I don't know Bob, but
Bob helps me with the vacuum pumps, the Navac vacuum pumps that were.
Is he the guy that fixed that one?
He fixed the my air compressors.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. and I twice did the same dumb thing, and he still came and helped me. I would not do that.
Patience.
Yeah,
Too,
the amount of money.
What? Nate puts on a heck of a breakfast at the Maple Fest up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. The reason Nate doesn't have gray hair is because he's got a good woman.
I do.
There you go.
I know her very little, but I can tell.
Yep.
And I met the boys, and they're pretty good too, so that helps too.
Well, right. Yeah, so stay in line and don't give you trouble.
Listen, if I'm out of town, between the dog and the boys, I would not come into this house. You are done. You're done. Yeah. So how are sales compared to last year?
My sales?
Same.
We're probably down total orders, maybe, 15, 18%. Volume is down. Not as many big orders, more smaller orders.
I look at the comments often that I see, and I see good ones, I see bad ones, and I sometimes wonder if somebody, what do they say? A survey of one does not a study make. So one example is not, it's called anecdotal. And I think about myself when I thought, if I just buy a larger vacuum pump, I won't have to do as much maintenance in my woods. I'll just suck it in better. That's a terrible idea, because all you do from your lack of maintenance on your woods is make ice balls faster.
Right.
I remember getting
Right.
mad because I invested in this better vacuum pump and my sap quality, my sap production went down. So I had a vacuum pump. I'm like, I'm going to put in a 3-horse over a 2-horse, and that'll overcome my lack of maintenance. And then the sap was worse. And who did I want to blame? It's vacuum pump. Can't be as good. Truth is, if you change one thing, you change everything. And we like to change 7 things in our sugar bush and have no idea what did what. But we're going to blame somebody that picks the phone up, right?
Sounds like you got an education, Nate.
Oh, yeah. I've done all the dumb things. I thought that my lack of ability could be overcome with somebody's product. Like, I'm going to buy Joe's Sapmaster spouts, and that'll make up for the fact that I have all these squirrel chews.
All right. Right.
No.
Yeah. There's
No.
no fix to
Right.
high quality, like Bob
But
was
I
saying.
think oftentimes, people are hoping for a silver bullet, and that's what I saw. Just before you were set, like last year, just looking at comments, I'm like, oh, these people are hoping for a silver bullet. And out of 10 variables, they probably have 4 or 5 that aren't right, but they're hoping that
that's the other
your
thing.
spout will save them.
I have a lot of repeat customers, and I've talked to them a lot. They like the changes we made. They share. And at the same time, they say, I think they were better, but the year's different. You don't know, So they're willing to try them again. And a lot of people increased. It depends on the customer. So, yeah, it's interesting to get to meet a lot of the sugar makers. That's been the best part about it.
You have quite the number of customers now. And I actually think maybe the most valuable thing about Sapmaster is not necessarily the money or revenue from spouts, but it's the people now.
Yes, exactly. I agree. And just the knowledge of the maple world that I've learned in a year's time that would have taken me 30, by going to shows and reaching out to people. But last week I talked to 8 sugar makers that have been doing a lot longer than I have. And, they share everything they know. And I just love it. Then you find out too that it's different everywhere. There's different practices. Climate's different. Time is different. Yeah, everybody's got different challenges. So that's fun to learn. I think you get stuck in your ways, and then when you get your eyes opened, you learn more.
I don't know. For
my guys down in Kentucky's just got froze out. They've been making syrup 10 days ago, and now they got froze out.
Yeah, they're going to probably have a record year with this cold front.
They might.
Yeah. These guys in the Southern Maple Belt, they don't get this very often,
No.
They, if I had a maple operation south of the Ohio River, I'd call it Big Run Maple, because I'm going to have one big run, and then it's going to be summer.
That's where I had a customer. That's where he's from, and he was worried. Well, he said he was just all going to get snow, no rain where he was at. I don't know if that held true, but freezing rain is not fun to deal with.
So I see a comment here. It says, I think that's State Maple LLC or Saint Maple LLC. I'm not sure, but sugar makers, not gatekeepers. Somebody went through some sales training. So yeah, gatekeepers are the people who think it's their job to protect their company from success. That's what I do. So at my company, because I was in sales and I was in what they call technical sales, meaning I wasn't just, I had a technical degree and I was helping people with applications, but it doesn't matter. I was still in sales. And now that I own a company and people are always calling, knocking, and trying to get the business, I tell my team, don't you ever treat them rudely. This is how you respond. You say, listen, I'm busy, but the owner really wants to make sure that we don't protect ourselves from success, that there are outside ideas that could come in that we don't currently implement. So I'm busy right now, but can I take your name and number down and I will get back to you? And this is like so novel. Like the sales reps are just like, is this for real? Because my team is busy. So contrast that with, I used to call on people and I probably, could have solved a lot of problems at a lot of these companies. Even if you were told, hey, this company down the street's having problems. You want to call them? You call them like, hey, and they're like, well, he's busy. Like, all right, like I'm up here in what I do. They're here in their performance, but that person that picked up the phone protected them from success. And I have a trick for my team. I go, always call shipping. Don't waste your time with a person at the front. Call shipping and then just say, look, I apologize. I'm at shipping here. I'm trying to find out and they'll tell you freaking everything, right? They'll tell you, oh gosh, we keep missing orders. Really? Well, who do I talk to? Oh, you want to talk to Ricky over here. The person that's sitting up front, they think it's their job to protect people from success. And it's pretty hilarious. That's what I call it when we're trying to work with a company or a new prospect. And I go, oh, they're spending time protecting their company from success. So
Nate, did you learn that, or
I just made that up, like that whole phrase?
well, did somebody teach you that at school, or did you learn that through your career? You know what I mean?
I'm sure somebody mentioned just punching in numbers till you get to like HR or accounting. Like the worst person to talk to is the person that's like.
No, I mean about answering your phone at your company.
I taught my company that because I learned about how many people I could have helped. And there's people out there who are good at what they do, like Bob. Like Bob's
But
good
you learned that wasn't taught to you.
Yes. Like there's two things. Number one, I have learned three things. I've learned how to be a better manager by having terrible managers.
Right.
Treat people like the opposite of how this dude treated me. Don't make somebody pay their dues because this guy was a jerk. So that's one of the first things I thought early in my career. I had a guy that he was more interested in keeping me down than lifting me up. And I'm like, man, this is awful. It was like an awful situation. So that's one. The second one was more recent. I've got to meet some YouTubers in my career that I wanted to meet, but then once I met them, like they couldn't look you in the eye. They couldn't talk to you. They were more interested in somebody more important to talk to.
Oh yeah, I know them kind of. They're always looking over your shoulder.
So I tell people when I'm talking to somebody who watches my channel, who came up to me and wants to talk to me, I look them in the eye and listen because I hated it when somebody didn't do that for me. So there are YouTubers that are humongous that I learned how not to treat people. So that was the second one, but it's the same thing with companies that you've wanted to work with that didn't treat you well. So I want to make sure that outside salespeople, they're almost shocked. Like, this isn't real. Like, I thought this would be difficult. It's like, no, like our owner wants to know if there's an outside idea, and then like you treat him with respect, because that was something I hated. So I like this one. Our credit department has a nickname, the Sales Prevention Department. That's a good comment. So I see Carl is in the green room here. The RO boss. I want to bring Carl on.
Hey guys.
The RO boss. So how many days without sleep so far?
Oh, I've been good. I'm managing, I came into the season a little smarter, so I had a lot more reserves built up. So
you were like, kind of like was it the Pharaoh? Moses was like, was it the Pharaoh? He's like, you're gonna have like 7 years of famine. It was Joseph. I'm sorry. Joseph. Yeah. So Carl's like Joseph. He's like, you got to get your RO buckets together, King.
Got to do it. These people, they don't buy them early, so you just got to cater to them.
I was just thinking about customers that are good customers and bad customers, and it's like
they're all good. They're all good.
Oh, you lying sack of crap! I'm the worst, right? So I know, like during maple season when I was younger, man, it's like I need a sap tank.
Yeah,
into the sap tank, and it's like
we're all terrible. You know what I mean? We all do the same.
We're so used to Amazon anymore.
I know. And then the Amazon takes one extra day, and it's like the end of the world. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just the way it is.
I've kind of learned, like, as I've watched, I really like the people that plan ahead. They want that 5 or 10% discount or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm really starting to respect the people that get ahead of it, Like
Yeah.
I've got a guy that's like, I know you can't get me a flash pan now, but I want the first one right after season. I want to get it. It's like,
Yeah. And they'll hound you too. Like they're serious. Like they'll keep
Yeah.
bringing it up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I want to
yeah.
pay you for it. I'm like, dude, you know, it's
That's why
like,
like I don't like promotions and stuff, but like I'll do like free shipping in the summer just to get the like you know what I mean, just to give people a reason to buy it early, you
just to
know.
get ahead of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to get ahead of it.
Yeah. So I haven't been watching the show. I just popped on, but I don't know what you
I
guys were
appreciate
talking
it, man.
about.
I sent
Yeah.
invites to a few people. I don't like doing Sapchats by myself.
Yeah. It's like whenever I have a party, I send invites out. Nobody shows up.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
No. You just sit there just hoping, praying someone pops on, you know, and no one ever does. But
Well, I think I'm an example of one of those, you know, I was trying to use you know, the small 4-inch membranes to take sweet water from our production process and trying to shove it,
yeah.
you know, trying to increase it over. And everybody told me,
Yeah.
you know, like it's not really meant for that night. I'm like, I can make it work.
Yeah.
And
You
then
start with sweet. It's hard when you start with sweet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just tough.
dude, I suck at this. Like I
Does
should
it,
just
what's
bought
hard
an
about
8
it?
inch. Yeah, I should have just. Are you
It's just
talking?
hard when you start at 8% and you're using an RO that only goes to 200 pounds to try and get any more water out. You know?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm finding out.
How sweet
Yeah.
is your sweet name?
So when they're done at the end of a production day, they'll clean out the filter press and get about 150 gallons of, you know, 7-8 bricks
Oh wow.
that I used to put down the drain, but now I'm gonna boil it down with my new evaporator.
Yeah, just boil. I mean, either just get like a RO with higher pressure and
Yeah, somebody
run
said
it, or just cook it the way it is. You know.
8-inch. Somebody said something about that, like maybe help me with an 8-inch after the season when they catch
Yeah.
their breath a little bit.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
you'll-
if Someone could do
You'll
that.
start cooking it the way it is until you get sick of that, and then you'll RO farther.
I know. I just need to
Yeah.
just go get a big boy RO. And it's also teaching me, like, as I'm going through this, like, I'm going back to the
learn.
beginning with my dad, and we're going to just go back to the sugar house and we're going to make syrup with wood. And I'm going to start over and just tell people what I would have done if I had to start over. Like, just try to
Yeah.
avoid a lot of the mistakes. And I think one of them is the smaller membranes if you're trying to make money. Like, it's one thing if it's a hobby or you're just doing it for your family, but
Yeah.
I have to do this. Like, I have to make 55,000 pounds. Like, what am I doing? I need to really concentrate it up to 20 before I even boil.
Yeah, and you got to crunch numbers and see if it's even worthwhile to save the 8%. You know, it's like
I know.
that's the thing. You know, like it doesn't
Sorry,
feel
Mike.
good dumping it, but it's like at the end of the day, if
I'll
you're not
take
making
it.
money,
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
I've already
I mean,
snotted up
that's
a
what I
couple totes.
cook.
Like, they're saving me totes, and I've been using the fridge, which is like the porch fridge this time of year. You can put stuff out on
Oh
the porch.
yeah.
It's cool. Problem is the fridge hasn't been cold enough on certain days, and there wasn't already ice in that IBC tote. That stuff, it got snotty.
What you got me
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
is what's in. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
8% doesn't keep well.
Yeah, no, not at all.
There was slush in it. I thought it had. Well, there's the ones that have
That will
kept.
keep. Yeah,
have
that will
ice in
keep.
them. Those have kept.
Yeah. What's
I've
interesting though is see your 8%, that's from syrup, right? That's
Syrup. That's different.
Yes.
so
It's
you could technically RO that to 66 and have syrup. It wouldn't have to be cooked again because the flavor
Right.
profile's there.
True.
I don't think it tastes as good, but it's not like taking 8% sap and ROing it and having no flavor.
Right.
So you kind of have like a cool commodity in the sense that like it already is kind of syrup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could probably get it to like 40 or 50 and just like, hit it with a quick boil and actually have, decent syrup
Decent.
out of it. Yeah.
And it's not like by the way, it's not like I'm making money. It's actually I'm losing less.
It's about and it's about efficiency too. You just hate wasting.
Nate,
all that
what do the
stuff.
big boys do? You ever hear of what some
Oh
big
yeah.
factories
Like
do?
I didn't come up with this idea. I mean, Bascom's been doing this for years.
What, saving the
He
old
doesn't
stuff?
RO it. He just runs it over to a big tank that's set at 219 with
Yeah.
steam and just keeps cooking it down. I call
Right.
that black hole syrup. It gets so dark it has its own gravitational pull. Like it's
Yeah.
dark.
You need flux to keep that going though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't even do a batch like once every 4 days. It really just got to just constantly do it, you
Yeah.
know. So
You
it might
mean
not work for
keep
everybody.
boiling?
Yeah, like you, I don't know if you do it like where like every 4 or 5 days you end up with a tote of it, and maybe he
No,
just has a constant stream
every
of it.
2 days.
Yeah, so if you could convert, yeah, I mean you could probably pull it off.
I
would think.
want to get
Yeah.
a bulk tank. I think that's one of the first projects I'm going to do for Galt. One of our R&D projects is a concentrate tank that is refrigerated, that isn't going to be expensive like the dairy industry. Something that'll hold your concentrate cold.
Well, like a chiller, like instead
But even
having,
chillers, they say like at a certain point, you're just better off using refrigeration.
yeah, like if you just pump it through a chiller at low speed to then you don't need any infrastructure in the tank. You're sending it away from the tank to chill it and then bringing it back in to like an insulated tank.
Yeah, Jeff Scott he's done this, and I've done it at 50 degrees, but I got to go lower.
Yeah, it's the colder you get, obviously, exponentially more difficult it becomes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Even 50 to 45 is just so hard.
Huge. And I got to get down to 32 because I need a little
Yeah.
slush. So saying hi to
Which
Rick,
means your medium has to be somewhere around 20 degrees to get any temperature differential, and heat transfer.
probably need a little glycol in there.
Or use like a heat pump or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So my friends from Alaska. It's Richard from Northern Eagle.
Why didn't you just run a pipe to Alaska, pump it to Alaska, and then that's probably cheaper.
Oh man. What do we got here? Carl, just got your filter canner. Excited to see it in action next month.
Nice. So, I hope you like it. If you have any questions, let me know. But people love those things, so I think they're the real deal. So
here's another comment. Joe, what improvements have you made with the Sapmaster spout this year compared to last year?
Well, the producer model is much shorter. A lot of guys can't drill a hole that deep, just different reasons.
Well, they might go through the tree.
Well, that's it. They're tapping. Some guys are tapping 14-inch trees, and
we're tapping 1-inchers where we're at.
They don't want to get into the hardwood. So we made it shorter, and then it's basically we choked up, or we're not choked up anymore. We used to have a little bit of taper where it would start. We got rid of all that. So as soon as it touches the wood, it starts doing the business.
You need to make a tap that's like a thumbtack for us guys up here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Like it's like an IV drip. We run the IV tubing down in the
You could call that tap the hypodermic.
Yeah. I had a really good customer, a repeat customer. Last year he took 2 different kinds of taps, and when he had a small tree, he used that other kind. When he got to a decent one, he used mine. I think that was that's asking a lot.
We had a pretty good conversation going today when I was asking people for Sapchat topics. And one of them was like spouts. And I firmly believe within 20, 30 years, everybody will be making a gallon per tap because we'll know more. And I think it's so interesting when I was up there with Joe watching them making these spouts and how hot they come off. So they're going to be sanitary because they're hot. It's melted plastic. But then it gets put in a bag, and they had gloves on. And I think about how many companies have gloves on when they're putting them in a bag because you're touching them and your hands have bacteria. Our mouth is filthy. So I used to tease people when they'd tap, they'd stick that spout in their mouth like an infant so they could have an extra hand and drill, and then take that thing and stick it in the hole. And I'm just like, how many dumb things are we doing? Think about when people just dump spouts into a bag, a maple bag, like one of them udder bags they've been using for like 7 years. They just dump them nice, clean spouts right in there. And then you're pulling them out with your bare hand. I firmly believe that we're going to have to keep them septic.
They're riding in the back. They're riding in the back of my truck for a week with the dogs back there. Yeah, you're right.
Everybody, like, there's no food requirements or regulation for people making spouts. And every time our hands touch something, you're contaminating it, breathing on it. Like,
they're going to come in like a sterile pack, you rip open.
I've been thinking about ozone. Like, if it was me, I'd put a puff of ozone in every bag, couple, the night before, really like kill anything in there.
Yeah.
But even that, I don't know if that sanitizes it long term. It just probably slows down the growth.
Yeah, there's nothing, but you never know. Like, and dude, the plastics, like the antimicrobial plastics, they're gonna have like in the future. It's probably gonna be a
Silver
non-issue at
is
that point.
interesting.
You know what I mean?
Silver is interesting. Like I guess they've just gotten the silver approved for organic production.
Oh
But
yeah,
I had heard, I heard at the New York State show there, and Bascom came up to me. He was telling me about these spouts that are now organic approved,
hmm
and silver with a check spout is actually the best, but it doesn't exist.
yeah,
They did some studies, and it's like, and then the silver testing obviously is going to look good against a spout year over year. But where's that sweet spot where you can put enough silver in the spout and still be okay with throwing it away because it's not $1?
Have you seen the price of silver lately?
I know.
yeah. A lot of this is like silver salts, though. It's not even like elemental.
Right.
Oh,
It's probably a byproduct.
byproduct.
like silver nitrate and stuff. Yeah, it's just
Listen,
like
Carl and I know. Look, we know.
I don't. I don't.
yeah.
So,
But
yeah,
even outside silver, like just like like polymeric properties that are like antimicrobial, like they're just gonna come up with stuff that's just like inherently antimicrobial,
you'll
and they're
leave
gonna
that
figure it
spout
out.
in there for next
Yeah.
season. Like,
Yeah, and like the tree, and that's the thing, the tree probably won't even grow around it. Yeah, it'll just like, and then it'll be made. You just tap it a little more every year. You know what I mean? Like
I think one
get
of
a
the
little deeper.
best thoughts that I had, and now I've heard other people say it, was, especially for people in warmer climates, is tap with a 1/4 inch spout, which a lot of big production maple operations use. But if it gets warm, and if it's a stubby, pop it out and then use the 5/16, and you're just going to take that scum off there, and now you could have almost 2 seasons.
Yeah,
Don't work that way. It's
Well,
just
I
like
don't
when
know.
you
Joe, let me see your paperwork. Show me your
listen to
work.
me. I'm listening to Andy Vandenberg, Abby,
Abby.
and she says it's like if you would puncture your foot, you step on a nail. What happens? It swells up around that nail hole. The tree starts to compartmentalize around that whole area and starts shutting sap production down a long ways away from the hole. So the damage is done once you drill the tree. It's already starting to isolate.
Joe, you need a 1-inch bit, is what I'm hearing you say.
Well, no, drill a 1/4 inch hole, Nate, and then in those warmer climates, just move because they have probably a month longer growing season than Maine.
I got you.
Those trees will grow over. And because I've even thought of that with the silver maples, drill another hole. You got to keep better records because you're drilling twice as much. But silver maple only lasts 60 years and it's dead. It ain't like these guys that some of them are over 100 years old.
in 30 years, we might even be drilling holes. Like it's like we might be doing crazy stuff. We might be getting it from the roots, man. Like
right.
Like the whole premise behind what we're doing could just be totally different.
Get the auger.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have lines coming out of the ground, it'd be crazy.
I mean, we used to have lead paint. I didn't have seatbelts growing up. Like, we've done a lot of dumb things.
Yeah.
Right?
We had Corvairs,
Here's a comment here. So Jake says producers need to learn the next season starts in the spring, not January when you're ready to tap. Yeah, at the end of the season, I'm tired and I go, I'll get it next season. And you know what happens? I don't get it. And then I'm like, crap, I forgot to get that thing I'd say I'd get after the season. The after the season list needs to be written on your face or somewhere.
Yeah, or some reminder in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of us have
that'll change when you get older because you realize your clock is getting shorter and you don't want to wait to put it off because next year you might not be capable of cutting wood.
That's
so
true.
When you young bucks think differently. So
So LJ says, hello, Nate. So LJ's in Michigan. He's 18 years old, sugaring on his own. He reached out and he's saved up a bunch of money and he is putting taps in for his first time. And we've got some sugar makers helping him out. One guy, Bub Taft, he's making a deal with him on his RO. I'm going to help him out with vacuum. I think he's got 2,500 brand new brand new install.
Nice.
Awesome.
And he's doing some of the things that I did. I'm like, oh, you don't want to just buy any vacuum pump. You want one that'll. So we're gonna help LJ. I'm kind of excited about it.
Good deal. Nice work, Nate.
Nice work,
Nate's
LJ.
just Nate, you're crushing it, man. You're just
I
crushing
really like these people that go after it.
Yeah, me too.
Jason says glycol system. I know, and it's almost like steam. Like for me, I'll heat up steam to heat up water to heat up syrup, and it's like I should just use steam. It's the same thing with cooling. If you're cooling down with refrigeration to cool down water to cool down something, just save the step. It's more efficient.
Get like one of those brine chillers, that use heat.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Glycol would be a better option for super chilling than heat pumps to do. I just think refrigeration. Like we're trying to. It's easier to do glycol. We understand it. We don't understand refrigeration as well. So what do we got? Long Drive Acres Maple. Hi, Nate. Hi. Let's see. I'm going through comments, guys. Going through comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it. My phone. I probably look stupid because I'm trying to read these comments on my phone. So I'm like
sideways. That's gonna be our screenshot for this, by the way, Carl. When I got your face this close to the camera, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, my hoodie, my maple syrup chat hoodie.
You look like Abed from.
Remember this maple
Community.
syrup chat? Is that's still going, right? That Facebook group you got kicked out of?
I don't know.
I think it is. Yeah, that's a good one.
I know. I kind of miss some of the people that I don't get to talk to anymore, but
yeah, you should. A lot of good stuff happens in there.
I miss a lot of people, but they never asked me back.
I know. I never got kicked out. I don't know, but
well, you were part of the gravy train.
They just send me new hoodies every year.
That's funny.
Where'd Joe go? Joe left.
He's back. Joe's back.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, I went from grabbing any old tap in the shed and now wants to spray ozone in each bag. You're right. You're right. I'm thinking about, what kind of, radiation diminishing radioactive material that wouldn't be, available or readable. Was that radon?
We need something to keep the tree from healing. You know what I mean? When it's in there.
Well, that's what I think of too.
Like that's like that would be like amazing.
They used to use the old pellet of formaldehyde in every tap, and that'd keep them going.
Just don't tell anybody, Just toss it in there.
That doesn't just boil out. I don't think.
No,
the comment
just gets more concentrated.
Yeah, the comment you went from grabbing any old tap out of the bucket to one.
Cool. So what else is new? Anything?
Yeah.
How's your hot maple doing? Good.
Man, is it going good?
Yeah, I can't see how it isn't. Stuff's delicious, man.
It's going good. It really is. I wish I'd have known. I had that product in my arsenal for 5 years and did not listen to my customers.
That stuff went right in my mouth. I drink it right out of the bottle. I love it.
So you like
hot enough?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
We just ordered a meter, Carl, that'll measure Scoville.
Cool. Yeah.
Because one of the problems we're having is like you got your pepper mash, you're making your flavor, but then you're running everything through the filter press.
So you don't know. Yeah.
So like we don't know the difference between the hot before and after. Are we pulling out capsaicin? Like I don't know.
Because it's probably like sticking to your. Do you use like DE when you filter it?
Oh yeah.
It's probably like what you should do is like take some of that cake and dissolve it in water and measure the Scoville of that. So like you get a sense of
what you're losing.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good idea. Like we need to know, but I also have to filter because it's part of our like critical like food safety. Like
if you're using chili mash, you got to filter it because the syrup's probably already filtered anyway, right?
Middle Valley Maple has an organic approved microbial spout. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That silver lined one.
Yeah.
2 companies have it.
Yeah, they're in Vermont.
Just a question. Vermont Maple Farmer says, Joe, where's the old fashioned?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Here's another question for Joe. Joe, how hard was it cutting your evaporator wood this year?
You got Dave Carlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he helps me. He gets a semi-load of slab wood bundles, and then he lets me come over and use his jig and loads of. I put it in a tote sitting right here.
So, Vermont maple farmer, why weren't you at the Winter Institute for Wisconsin, Joe?
Because I went to New York this year, and that
You
was a
didn't
long way.
last year, right?
And I also was in Port Huron, so I had my budget spent trying to
2
move
out of
around.
3 ain't bad. That's a song.
I really miss going to Wisconsin because, well, what are they, second or third in the country?
Number
They
3.
make a lot of good. Yeah, they make a lot of good syrup. Some of my competitors, which I love competition. It teaches you to get better. It makes you not become complacent.
So I
Yeah,
sent
I
a
don't like sitting
bottle
in the
of,
office living on my laurels, Nate.
I understand.
Last year's sales.
So I sent a bottle up to Richard in Alaska, and it's like we have to be able to measure so we know repeatability. Like we can do the best we can, but if Zach and I don't have the ability to measure,
Yeah.
we're trying to use the same amount of pepper mash, but we also don't know like what the numbers
They
are.
got to be different.
Yeah.
They got
At
to be
least you can
different.
measure bricks. At least you can measure color. And we found a company that has. There's a lot of companies that have them. We like this one because it was like almost like a diabetic test. You get a drop and it says, yeah, it's hot. It
Yeah.
comes out with a reading.
Cool.
So we're
So you
pretty
test
excited.
your mash before you get your mash where you want it before you add it or whatever.
I think it's really the finished goods too. Like we want to know what it is going out, like plus or minus, and it's probably plus or minus 10%. So
Yeah, but if it comes in not hot, you can't fix it, can you?
You blend it back.
I don't like. I guess
You almost gotta know your mash before you add it. You know what I mean?
true.
And hit that
I just
target.
don't know.
Your learning curve.
If you take a sample of that and dilute it down so you can measure it, like I don't know the range on this thing. It might have to be diluted.
Right.
And he didn't
Like a
tell
1
me.
to 10 or something.
I have a reagent I have to buy from freaking Europe, and he wouldn't tell me what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's probably like benzene or something. I'm sure it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Progress over perfection. Correct. That was a good turnout tonight, guys.
Yeah.
So one of the things I talked about yesterday at the Northwest Maple Association meeting, you speak, and at the end, so there's a lot of people that don't want to ask their question because they just feel like I don't want to speak in front of everybody. I don't feel comfortable. So what happens is 5 people come up to you after and ask the same question.
Mhm.
So I tell people it's kind of selfish to withhold your question because there's actually 5 people wondering the same thing. You just don't realize it. And if you ask the question, you're helping everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't have that much time. Imagine having like we think our problems are unique. I guess one of the things that drives me nuts is watching people try to solve problems that have already been solved over and over. And Carl, you ever seen anybody do that in the little gosh? Like, what do you like? I can't stand that. Like, it's one of the things.
How do you deal with that?
I have like shortcuts in my phone because I say the same thing to people all the time.
If you want a puzzle, play word games on your phone in the morning or do a crossword puzzle.
So like I can type like 3 letters and like a whole paragraph will come up. But there's like a shortcut. Like it's just like it's just like it's just the way
You just
I don't know. People just all ask the same questions. It's not a bad question. It's just they all
I can't tell you how many times I tried to invent accounting in business. And now I see other people trying to invent accounting and business and like how you run a business, like versus your household. If you run your business like your household, you will be forever frustrated if you plan on growing at all. And I didn't come up with this. And I did the same stupid things. I'm like, I don't want debt. Debt-free debt. My house is paid for. I don't have personal debt. I have business debt. And if you try to run your business like your personal, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll just grow at 1% or whatever you can grow at the max of what your net income is. Correct, Carl?
It took me 12 years to grow to where I am now because I'm like, I don't take risks. Like I'm really kind of level headed. And it's like, it worked because I had time, you know what I mean? But if you're in like a cutthroat industry, it's not gonna happen.
Jake Mosier says it. He says it. Dave Ramsey is the death of businesses. Dave Ramsey is for your personal finance.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly.
A buddy told me once that everything has a cost of ownership, whether you own it or you lease it or you rent it. And he wasn't afraid to borrow money.
Luckily, some products don't have to be brought to market quickly, because
I mean, if you had the profit margins of the pharmaceutical industry, software of the RO bucket, you don't need to borrow money.
why you throwing me in there?
We all know you're making 95% gross margin.
For the first two, I'll give you. That last one, though, I don't know, man.
And,
I'm sitting here in my cold basement because I don't want to heat it.
It's funny.
Yeah, with a free hoodie I got for free. But
yeah, I struggled with this one too, Richard. Profit first. I cow kicked my coverage so many times. So like, again, just because I did something over here that was wrong doesn't mean everything I say is wrong. That's the one common thing I see with people. It's like, yeah, but Nate did this. Yeah, but that doesn't mean this is wrong.
right.
Both can be true. I can be wrong about this and right about this over here. Both can
I
be
don't know,
right.
Nate. I like people that don't make any mistakes,
I do too.
Find the good.
like my wife.
Find the
just
good.
No mistake.
Oh man,
Yeah.
mine doesn't.
It's like Mr. Miyagi said. Nobody knows it all. And you say that too, Nate. You can't.
What time do you guys start? 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting bombed with snow here, so I had to do some
Good for
cleanup.
you.
No kidding. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for jumping on.
Thanks.
Catch you next time.
Nate. Good
Cool.
talking to you, Carl.
Let me know. Shoot me the text. I'll hop on again. It's always
Peace.
a pleasure. All right, later.
Yeah, it is. Fun talking, Maple.